This is a Boardwalk Audio podcast.
Hey guys, how do you feel about getting some free showtime?
Let's cut to the chase, Shaughn. Go to boardwalkaudio.com/showtime. You can get a week of free showtime.
You get a week of free showtime.
And that's good stuff. It's on boardwalkaudio.com/showtime.
Oh my gosh.
You can get a free week of it.
And then after that, it's only $8.99 a month.
I know, and they've got all they've got The Shy. I want to see that show.
Oh yeah, The Shy. They have Smilf.
That's supposed to be amazing.
Supposed to be amazing.
You can tell we need to use this deal because we need to watch Showtime.
Mm-hmm. And after that, it's only $8.99 a month, which is cheaper than Netflix.
Yeah, so...
And HBO.
And
combined.
I think Hulu.
And Hulu. It's cheaper than all of them. How do they do that?
It's pretty amazing. They've got all the Rocky movies, which is what I want to watch.
Yeah, they have Bad Moms on right now.
They have Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead, which, even though the name is a little spelt weird.
I know, spelt just totally wrong. No G's or H's in that,
No G's or H's
Shaughn.
in there. Doesn't make it... Well, there's one H, I guess.
Yeah, but a normal what?
Also, Death Becomes Her is on there, too.
Oh my god, I would love to have a Death Becomes Her party to watch that.
Oh, it'd be fun. We could drink red wine and
eat frosting.
Eat frosting.
That sounds like so much fun.
Yeah. All right, guys, so go to boardwalkaudio.com/showtime to get your free 7-day.
Enjoy.
Bye.
Bye.
I just drink wine.
Is it recording?
It is. We're going.
Oh, we're doing it.
Yeah.
Welcome to the wine
situation, everybody.
Hi, Shaughn.
Hi, Ellen.
We're here in this we're in a different place.
We're in a new location,
We're
first time ever.
Our guest is hosting us. It's amazing.
It is amazing.
This is the wine situation where we take people's winey wines and pair them with delicious liquid
That's right.
wines.
We take your gripes and we pair them with grapes.
Grapes, yes. I was like, wait, is that the right order? Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, griping and then graping.
That's Shaughn Buchholz. He's officially the Wine Whisperer.
Officially
that's
the Wine
a pin.
Whisperer,
I give
yeah.
you a pin for the Wine Whisperer.
It's my SAG name, guys.
The Wine Whisperer. He looks into your soul and pulls out more grapes.
More grapes. Oh my
Fermented
God.
grapes. He knows what you want to drink, and he helped open Bar Covell, and he's got an intro pin from the Court Masters.
I do. Ellen also has a pin, but she has another sexy pin from the W sets.
It's so sexy because there's a lady
There's
on
a
it.
lady on it.
Yeah.
A sexy lady on that pin.
Yeah.
So she's taking her test. She's Mademoiselle Palette,
That is me, Mademoiselle Palette.
I have a lot of names for you.
I'll take them all. I'm equal opportunity for nicknames.
Goth Lord Princess.
Ooh, Goth Lord Princess. That's a new one.
I just
I just picture you with this poster board at home of every cute name.
Yeah.
You come in, you're used it this week. Cross off.
I have a big whiteboard just for names.
Tracking
for you.
it.
Yeah. I wake up. It's kind of like a dream board, but it's just nicknames for you.
I want to see this next time.
And there's a bunch of yarn and string connecting different
Yeah.
names and pictures and places.
Does
it's not
Brennan
creepy
know
at all.
about
It's
this?
totally
'Cause
not
this
creepy.
is weird.
Yeah.
I would be worried if I lived with you.
Shelby just brings home clues.
That was the dog running by my house.
That was
the other-
her.
Should we get into our next segment? Grape of the
Thrones.
Week. Grape of Thrones. We just have to switch off which it's called.
We're never going to decide if it's Grape of Thrones or Grape of the Week.
It's both.
It's both.
Yeah. Melon de Bourgogne.
Melon de Bourgogne.
AKA, because you'll never see a bottle labeled like that. Shaughn, what would you call?
Sometimes, if they
Really?
grow it domestically, they'll write Melon de Bourgogne on it.
Oh,
Yeah, but
Okay.
usually you'll see it as Muscadet,
Muscadet.
commonly confused with Muscat.
Yes, we've learned this from a couple different guests now.
Yes.
They sound so close.
Yeah.
I mean,
It looks very similar, but they are different things because one is a
Yeah.
place and the other is a grape.
yeah, Muscat's
Yeah.
the grape. Muscadet is the place where they grow the Melon de Bourgogne.
Where
it's in
is
the,
it?
It's in the Loire Valley.
Ooh la la,
It is
la
right
la
by the sea in the Loire Valley. It gets that maritime climate. They have a variety of soils. Do you know how it got its name?
No.
So in 1709, there was
great year,
horrible
guys. Great
frost in Muscadet and killed off a lot of Loire Valley grapes, and the monks hanging out down in Burgundy brought that grape up because it's very frost resistant, and those nice monks came and helped replant, and so it's the Melon de Bourgogne is from Bourgogne is the French word for Burgundy. So
it's like a melon from Burgundy.
yes, it's a melon from Burgundy. A
We
juicy
bring
grapey.
you a melon from Burgundy. We are monks.
And it's very interesting because also later on,
Amen.
they kicked that grape out of Burgundy, much like they
That's
did
right.
Gamay.
Well,
Yeah,
I knew that because it
Burgundy's
got.
such a snob. They're like Chardonnay and Pinot Noir only. Get out Gamay. Get out Melon de Bourgogne. So it's the leftovers. It's the sloppy seconds from
Sloppy
Burgundy. But
seconds.
I think it's a delicious wine, and
I
it
love
does
it.
very well. And it's very crisp and briny,
And
and
it goes well with seafood. It is like the most seafood wine you could order.
yeah, you just gotta, especially because they say what grows go with the foods of the region.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's right by the sea, so go get some seafood.
People that live by the sea tend to eat a lot of seafood, guys, and this wine really goes well with that.
It's also a wine that has a lot of, they do this thing called surly.
Ooh.
Your dead grape cells, dead
Dead
yeast cells.
cells.
They let it lie on those to give it a little more body, a little more texture.
Some of them actually can get a little like rounder mouthfeely from that.
Yeah,
like,
and a
more
little
fuller
spritzy
bodied.
too,
Yeah.
because of the hanging out on their lees all winter, as one does. That's what we do in LA.
That's what we
We
do.
hang out on our lees.
So that's Melon de Bourgogne,
Muscadet.
Muscadet, your Grape of Thrones.
Grape of Thrones. Grape of the week. Let's get our guest here. He's got his own awesome
I've been
podcast.
here the whole time.
Joel
I've been
Spence!
carrying you.
Oh my
Hi, guys.
God.
You were just
Hi.
behind that curtain.
Just
Is that why that curtain's in the middle of the room?
Yeah,
Behind
yeah.
that?
It freaks everybody out.
It's so freaky.
It's just my thing.
Joel is an amazing UCB performer. He's been on Big Little Lies. He's fresh off the boat. Heathers, the upcoming Heathers. He's got his own podcast. He's on Mouth Feelings, and he has a new podcast coming out soon called This.
Particular album is very, very important to me.
And I'm excited for that to come out because I like music.
You've got albums that are very, very important to you, probably.
We all do.
We should hope so.
But let's hear. Well, we can get your whiny wine, so we
Oh.
can get into the liquid
Oh yeah,
wines.
that's a good one.
Yeah, I
that one.
this is the thing that bugs me, right? This is the yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't like it, and I'm gonna sound. There's some people who know me will not be shocked by how much of a grumpy person I sound like, but by the end of this, everyone will know I'm kind of grumpy. I do not like it if I'm in some sort of customer service situation, whether it's a bank or a coffee shop or a grocery store checkout lane, when they try to get to know me or they ask me, what do you got going on today? Or they make a comment about what I'm buying.
No, God,
and,
that's awful.
Or if I ask for quarters, they say something like laundry day, huh? And I don't know. We can talk about why, but I the context is because I've worked as a server before, I've worked at a coffee shop before. I do not expect. They don't need to do anything to me to make me feel welcome.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, I know that there's a chance that they're having a rough day. There's a chance that they don't want to be there. So I try to not be a harsh person with them. I try, but I'm at a kind of usually a pretty good disposition when I'm at these places. But when they ask a question like that, it's like the blood leaves my face,
Yeah.
and they probably read that I am in the worst hell because I do not want to. There's something about that I feels like a violation.
I should be able to have my own schedule without reciting it to
Yes,
everybody
I don't
else.
need to give you anything, and maybe part of it is also that I don't really think that they care.
Yeah.
Oh.
That they're
It's just
that they're-
transactional.
Yes,
You're
and
like,
there's
just do
there's a coffee shop. I don't want to name it. I love the coffee shop. It's great, but I feel like that's part of their MO. They're told to do this. What have you got going on today? And I don't want to tell anybody anything. And I don't think I want to be the person that feels so comfortable about saying this is what my thing is. My
Well,
day is. Yeah.
You should not. I have so many thoughts on this. But let's
cheers so we can start
let's
to
assuage your.
assuage your.
Yeah,
Your
please.
wines
Need some
and explain-
assuaging.
It's not corked. Yeah,
Not corked. We checked it. So
Oh, wow.
it's good. It's a great wine.
it's a great wine. So we wanted a wine that we were like, we should go with a wine from someone who no one would dare ask these questions of. So we were like, we need a celebrity wine, but a good celebrity wine.
Oh, great.
Miraval, it's got a really interesting history. The chateau in Provence, it's a French wine, but it happens to be co-owned, or the jury's out on whether they still co-own it, being as they're divorcing. But Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie,
Oh, no kidding.
yeah,
Bought this like 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Yeah, the website still says it's their summer home. But the wine is actually, I've had it multiple times, and I'm always like, this is damn good wine.
Yeah.
So anyway, we wanted a wine that nobody would dare question.
Right. A none of your business wine.
Yeah, none of your business.
Miss Jolie,
wine,
what do you got going on today? Picking up
exactly.
kids.
So would you call this a rosé?
This is a rosé.
This is a rosé.
Yeah.
Provence
We should have
rosé
said that.
from southern France.
And it feels like the color is maybe lighter than the normal, or maybe than the shitty rosé that I've had in my past.
Rosé comes in all shades. Yeah.
Okay.
But typically, a lot of like Provence rosé will be on the lighter side, like
Okay.
this.
Great.
So it's kind of par for the course in that respect.
Okay.
But it's like beautifully light and pink and
Love it.
Means
delicious.
it spent a little less time on the skins. This one is a Cinsault, Grenache, and Roll, and Syrah. So
Those are the grapes that are.
Those are the grapes.
grapes
yeah.
in this.
The
Yeah.
primary grapes down there are like Cinsault and Grenache. Like those are the main kind of grapes. But the Syrah is probably the smallest amount, I would argue.
in Provence.
And then Roll is a small, weird, obscure grape too.
Yeah, they can use a lot of varieties down there, though.
Yeah,
they've
they
got
can
like
kinda
a
do
weird
whatever.
hodgepodge because I think Provence used to be like owned by Sardinia or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they brought all sorts of different stuff there.
That's weird.
Different stuff.
I used
Wait.
to have a book.
Wine
The Provence, the Beautiful Cookbook.
Oh.
Ooh, do you like to cook?
I do.
That would explain mouth feelings.
Yeah, I like to eat. But I worked with, and when I lived in Minneapolis, I was a part of a theater company that had formed in Paris. There were 2 French artistic directors and 2 American artistic directors who all spoke French. So I was, and there in the theater there was also they made sure that there was a kitchen, and everyone loved to cook and talk about food and drink. It was lovely.
How cool is
sounds
that?
great.
Yeah.
I know.
It's great.
It's like a firehouse, only you're putting on plays.
Yeah,
instead of putting out
yeah,
fires.
and quite often we would come back from we would have Mondays off. Mondays would be dark, and then we'd see each other on Tuesday, and in the for whatever rehearsal or meeting, and there'd be a little bit of competition as to who cooked what on their day off. Like what'd you do? Like, well, I, made a cassoulet or whatever it is. It'd be like, damn. We'd have a little. It'd be a little competitive in that way, or
That's
we'd love
awesome.
to talk about that kind of stuff.
That's cool.
And my whole experience with rosé for the first time was traveling to Corsica, which and I didn't know that it was a thing. It was still existing in my mind as white or whatever. That
We had
sort
a Corsican rosé on the Cassie Jerkins episode.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
We did,
yeah, and it was a deeper color, so you're not
okay.
off track. That was your first rosé.
Yeah, it was, and I spent like 4 days there and drank a lot of rosé, and it was all wonderful.
I'm a fan. I'm very happy about the renaissance of rosé,
Yeah.
or the acceptance of it
Yeah.
when people realized it's not white Zinfandel.
I know. We're like, come on, people, get on board here.
There's delicious things waiting to be sipped upon.
So no one would dare ask this wine, like, huh? Having a party tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Laundry day wine.
Oh, you're single.
How's that
huh?
divorce going?
It's like, I had someone at Trader Joe's say that to me. They're like, oh, snacks, huh?
Oh,
I'm like-
I hate it. Okay, does anyone else hate it when sometimes I'll be buying things and it'll be a special... I hate it when people comment on the price of something, like, oh, this is pricey, because then I feel guilty that I'm
yeah.
buying it. I
Yeah.
hate that so much.
Yeah, that violates the transaction element, which should be cold, unemotional, and swift.
Now, will you be a self-checkout guy? Will you go to the self-checkout area?
If there's opportunity for that, and yes, I think maybe because of that, because
Yeah.
I do prefer. I don't think I have I have any sort of social anxiety. It simmers really low,
Yeah.
so I can compensate, or I can handle it okay.
Yeah, you can play ball.
I can play ball.
Yeah.
If there's ball to be played.
Yeah, you can catch.
I can catch. I can throw. I can get out of there as soon as possible.
Yeah.
But if there's, I
just
think
like baseball.
I do prefer the self checkout if there's an option like that.
So you were happy when every parking garage got rid of human beings and put in the like little
I'm
pay in advance.
Yeah, my philosophy is ruining America and taking away jobs.
Automation.
But on the flip side, if someone nails that interaction, is friendly, and I'm like, I think they're a hero.
Yeah.
I do reciprocate in my brain, like, way to go, buddy.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
Yeah, when you have someone in a restaurant who just is like the perfect amount of in and out,
Engagement
and like
and-
interested and not, and
Yes.
it's a beautiful thing.
Did you, if you guys worked, you guys are sommeliers, right? Or do you guys operate in that?
Yeah.
I've worked in restaurants. I don't currently.
Yeah.
I helped open a bar, Covell,
Oh, yeah.
and I still work there 2 nights a week.
Oh, maybe that's where I've seen you recently, I think.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
It's where
I
everybody
love
knows
it.
everyone.
Also,
from.
Heather's
It's the best.
because I worked on Heather's too. I know
Did you?
those guys. Yeah, we'll talk about that
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
because we don't want to bore you guys at home with.
But that brings me up
Shop
to the big anxiety I have with people asking me questions.
Yeah.
Because I was curious how much of this plays in for you, because I'm like a person who doesn't have a schedule, a normal schedule, and I'm running around doing the actor and writer and
Yes.
wine person thing. And sometimes when they ask me what you have going on today, and if I don't, I'm like, I'm a failure as a human
Yeah,
being.
it's like
And
your
especially
parents
in
asking you.
Hollywood, like, yeah.
All of a sudden, they turn into your mom or dad, and they go, "What are you doing today?"
Yeah.
Well, I have lots of work to do, really.
Well, actually,
I have to finish editing the podcast, and
Yeah.
there's a meeting and an audition.
I mean, like to me, it's really hard to judge when people want to engage or when they don't want to engage.
Yeah.
And for me, I always struggle with people that really want to engage, and I'm kind of just don't really want to as a bartender.
Yeah.
I have to like dig deep and try and think of some creative way to engage with them because they're sitting in a bar by themselves, and they probably want a little bit of communication.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah.
Even if they don't want it, they kind of want
They kind of want it.
kinda want
They
it.
kind of, if they want the ability to say, "I don't want communication right now," I think that satisfies that communication level. they would like they're like daring you to talk to them because
Yeah.
that's at least an interaction, and that's all they need.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I sat reading books at Covell by myself so much, and Shaughn just kept bugging me.
I know. It's like,
What you
well,
reading now?
Oh, yeah. How many chapters you got? How many chapters you got left?
What's happening now in the story?
Are you actually reading that, or are you just trying to look smart?
Yeah. Did he arrive at the cafe yet? Because that's a really good chapter. You know those great moments in plots when somebody arrives at a cafe.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That's always when it gets hot.
Yeah.
Really hot. Page turning.
I think Wells Fargo has that in their latest MO, or at least I started to notice it all of a sudden, the interest in what is happening with you, because I think they're desperate for people to walk into their banks.
Well, those crazy new lobbies they have that are like lounges.
Yes. And there's like people stationed around as if they're activities director on like the Love Boat. They're like, "Hello, welcome to the bank. How can I point you? Can I point you where the ping pong table is, or
We have
whatever?"
a full day of
And-
activities. We have the clown coming at 2, and then we have hot dogs at 3:30.
And you can stash your kids over here for a couple of hours. It'll be fine.
There's a ball pen.
Yeah.
They're just desperate for people to bank in person, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. It seems like a waste of the amount of, like a waste. It's again, me looking for automation, more automation. Controversial position here,
Deposit
guys.
this check on my phone, thank you.
Actually, I went into the bank. So I'm like, oh, it'll be quicker because I had some actual like banking things, like
Yeah.
different things to do.
Yeah.
It took 3 times as long. And she's like, write your account number across the top and your address. I'm like, I never have to do that when I go to the ATM. I mean, I'll do it. I was like, I felt bad actually because she was like, oh, here, I'll give you your number. I'm like, I don't have it memorized.
Yeah.
It was just the whole thing took way longer than just going to the ATM.
Yeah. And maybe this is the Orwellian society. I'm becoming more and more an advocate of Orwellian society, which I don't want, but I want more automation. And also, if you're an actor, the amount of forms you have to fill out on the first day of work is and put
God.
your address over and over and over
Why?
again. And since we don't write that much anymore, my penmanship has just been destroyed over years. That I wish there are moments when I wish that I had a little microchip in me
I feel like
where they
SAG.
could just kind of go zip, and I'm like, great.
I also feel like SAG should have figured it out. Like they should have some.
totally.
Why can't we fill out all our W-2s and stuff like that on
Once.
on their site, and when we get a job, then it's there.
Yes, yes, yes.
And also, end of the year is always so fun. Like, it takes, you know.
Oh.
they all
32
start-
W-2s. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
All the tax day. Oh my gosh.
CPA is like, this is fun.
Yeah. Oh great, you made $1.15 from this company. What a waste of a letter.
I'm so glad they generated an entire W-2 for that. So you could get that 7 cents back
Yeah.
or not.
Or not. Yeah.
You can keep it.
Now, I will walk into a bank to get a roll of quarters
Oh,
yeah. Well,
because my Vaughn's is very stingy about them because
Yeah,
you were
this
saying
Vaughn's
at the
is-
store asking for
yeah.
quarters.
What is very stingy about them?
Vaughn's.
From the
The Vaughn's near me.
Well, now this Albertsons, they can't wait to give me quarters.
Really?
I know. I got to change where I'm shopping.
It might be because they're also desperate for customers to treat it as if it's a place that is friendly that you
Yeah.
can ask. But when they start asking me if it's laundry day, it's like red to a bull. I'm
They
like,
should just
how
have-
dare you?
What are you insinuating? Do I smell?
What are you insinuating? That I don't have my own? Yes, I don't have my own washer and dryer.
Oh, God.
That I think is part of it. Is that
Oh.
I don't want to. It's sort of like you. It's like I don't want to tell you that I have nothing going on today. I don't want to tell you that I have. I share a washer dryer. And there's now my washer and dryer. This is riveting stuff for your listeners.
This
I'm
is-
sure.
I
Very
live for
riveting.
washer and dryer stores. I brought up the quarters again. Okay. I had
Can we get back to
circled
washer and
to the
dryer,
quarters.
But there's an app. I don't know if you guys have had, our washer and dryer now is connected to an app where you
What?
can you flip up and it automatically takes. So I put money into.
Oh my
this
god!
account.
I wish mine had that because getting quarters gives me serious anxiety.
Yes, and now I don't have to get quarters anymore because I just
That's
flip
fantastic.
up. And,
Pay with an app.
yeah,
I
with an
gotta
app.
tell my building what's up.
Again,
a
more
lot-
automation,
more
less
automation.
human contact. or well.
Chips in our neck. Chips in our neck.
Chips in our neck.
You just everything gets scanned and just connected to your bank account.
Oh, totally.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. Or everything should just be like Gelson's and have a wine bar, and then people will just come in and go. I mean, I still haven't gone to the Gelson's wine bar, but I hear this is a thing. And Gelson's is a grocery store here in LA that's very fancy.
Yes, imagine. You haven't been there. You haven't enjoyed their wine yet, or you haven't. Been to
I
the bar.
have been to Gelson's. I've not been to the wine bar,
Okay, for listeners,
but
imagine.
I've been to Whole Foods wine bar.
Oh yeah.
It's probably similar.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So imagine the bright lights. Take a regular bar. And then
Turn up the light.
and then where there's really good lighting.
Yeah.
Cavell keeps it dark. That
I
is
mean,
a
that's
dark.
like 90% of the job of a bar.
Keep it dark.
Keep it dark.
Keep it dark.
And have the right level of music.
Yep.
Okay, so imagine a bar and then take Klieg lights or the worst fluorescent lights and have them on 10. And that is the experience, I think, of having a drink there at
Yeah.
that
I'm so
Gelson's.
taking a first date there. Just shine those
Yeah.
unflattering lights on
and
me.
Totally. Like, I want you to see me at my worst.
While I'm trying to get someone to go pick up my groceries for me. and,
Yeah.
Deep wrinkles, all my blotches, taking
Yeah.
all my dark circles, bring it in.
Yeah. You like this? You want
Like
more of
this.
this?
What do you think of that smooth Muzak remix of Billy Ocean's?
Yeah. Want me
into
to play
my
it again? I think they've got a Sade mashup coming up.
Oh, wait. Oh, they're bringing me my bag of groceries they brought. Oh, wait. Yeah, just let me shove the tampons to the bottom of the head.
Oh, that a cashier has a follow-up question to what he asked me the other day when I told him that I was going to the bank. Are there other celebrity vintners, or is that the word? Is that the vineyards?
Winemakers?
Winemakers that are
Yeah.
that
I mean,
are worth.
Coppola, a very famous
Yeah.
one.
Oh, of
Yeah.
course. Yes.
Yeah.
That was he was the game changer for that.
There's Skinny Girl.
Skinny Girl. There's all the housewives.
Oh,
Not
no.
all, of
All the
them,
housewives
but
seem to
three
have
of them do,
wines.
Oh yeah. Have you guys discussed that on?
We have, yeah.
Are they're pretty good though?
No.
But
We tasted their Cosmo mix, and it was god awful.
it's a Cosmo mix.
They do like these like
Of course.
It's terrible.
low alcohol mixed
yeah,
drinks
Skinny
thing.
Girl. It's designed towards women. Like we just want these diet.
Yeah. We know you're
Low
gonna drink,
alcohol.
so
Don't be fat.
don't be that at the same time.
Be a skinny girl. Oh, girl, you're skinny. Drink this.
Right.
Have this.
Disgusting.
Yeah, there's also, let's see, I'm trying to think of celebrity. Well, Drew Barrymore started making wine, I
right.
think.
Yeah.
I haven't tried it. I feel like I'm always hearing of like race car drivers like having, but usually their name isn't. Oh, wait.
NBA basketball
Guy
players.
Fieri.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Guy Fieri.
His
does it-
wine was delicious.
Oh, that's-
Hunt and Ride. It was great.
It makes me
It was
feel good.
expensive.
I mean, I have not complex opinions about him, but that he occupies a certain arena of cuisine for sure and taste.
It's delicious.
But I also like hearing that he could. I think he's a good chef. There's no doubt in my mind that he can walk the walk, and I love hearing that he has a really good wine. I think
Yeah,
that's
it was.
great.
We got
That's
it for
something-
Nate
yeah.
Cordry. Was that who?
Yeah, Nick Cordry did
Who
an
loves
episode.
him, and that was his wine.
yeah.
He went to complain about people who hate Guy Fieri. So
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So we
Great.
found his wine.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Did you
in
ever go to
Vidal.
his restaurant in New York?
No, but there was
The
that.
notorious restaurant.
Yeah, those comedians that made the joke menu.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, you should. Nate pulled it up when we had him on, but it was like, it was like chips
With
topped-
okra foam.
Yeah, okra foam topped with like Bud Light, and then sweat from a T-shirt after a Motley Crue show. Like,
So
it was
specific.
just like
and-
amazing, hilarious descriptions.
On brand, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, while we're talking about the celebrity wines, do we want to play What's in the Glass just so people
we
know
can play a
what
little
we're
what's in the glass.
drinking? Maybe, I don't know. I mean, we don't have to.
I mean, we can. It's just like I feel like this
is a
rosé is
it's
pretty
a,
straightforward.
It's a pretty basic one, yeah.
Oh, is this talking about what's...
Yeah, like the smells you
Yeah.
get.
Oh, yeah.
It's
The
a,
look of it. We
it's a light-bodied.
we talked about the look.
Yeah. And I guess it is striking to me because I haven't ventured into rosé as much as I didn't know that they come in all varieties. That's really...
Yeah,
nice.
it has to do with how long it sits on the skins, or
Okay.
just the intensity of color of the grape they make it from.
I was reading something that Joe Bastianich said about this wine.
What'd
and
he
he said
say?
it's Hello Kitty pink.
I don't know that I agree with that.
I don't know if I agree with that either. 'cause
I feel like Hello
Is
Kitty
it a
is
dig?
more
Is that a
future-
dig, do you think?
I don't know.
No?
I love Hello Kitty.
has like
Maybe.
good
That would
rep,
make me
but-
want to drink that.
Yeah, yeah.
But it
I would
doesn't
drink
make
it
me-
if she made it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if it was patronizing, I guess, is what
Yeah,
I was wondering.
Yeah,
probably.
it probably was a backhanded thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I was always surprised every time I've had Miraval. I'm like, oh, this is quite. It's a very tasty. It's very balanced. It's a little saline, which I really like. It has
Yeah.
like almost like sea notes to it, and sort of light peaches and
I do get that macerated strawberry thing.
yeah, a little strawberry. It's very dry. It's pretty high acid. I'm guessing not
have
too
any,
high in alcohol. What, like 11% or something?
It's probably 12.
11.5. I'm always curious.
13%.
Holy fuck! I'm off.
People like
I'm never
to
gonna
drink
pass
you just-
my next test.
All you have to do, I mean, you're underbidding like in Price is Right. You don't want to overbid.
Don't overbid the alcohol.
Right.
Come on
I'm gonna pitch 0%
I
for
was
this.
going on where I felt the
I wanna
burn.
win.
1%.
1%.
1%.
Yeah.
God, everyone hates you,
Yeah.
man.
Everybody hates it. Ba-da-ba-da.
But yeah, we do the thing. We put our noses in, and we're like,
Take a
yeah,
sniff.
this is a very light, peachy, strawberry,
Yeah, I feel the fruity
vibe.
vibe. And so, but does that contradict dry or no?
No, fruit. That's something actually that's interesting. Is a lot of people will describe a wine as sweet if it's very fruit forward when
Okay.
there is no residual sugar in the wine, but the taste of fruit makes you think sweet.
Right.
so.
Gotcha. Okay, and the opposite of dry is sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Because sweet is more of a texture when you're talking about wine.
Oh, okay.
Because if there's a lot of sugar, it's usually like a heavier, more viscous liquid.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I understand.
And it'll taste like
Do they
sugar.
sometimes have rosés at Covell?
Oh, yeah. We have
Yeah,
a ton,
they
yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. We usually always have rosé.
Yeah.
And LA is kind of a rosé all day kind of city.
Yeah.
Like you could drink rosé all year here.
Okay.
It's usually warm.
People think of it as summertime wine. Although I'm obsessed with rosés from Tavel, which is in the southern Rhone, and they make fuller, more dark
Oh, that's
dark
interesting.
rosés. Yeah, and those are my favorites.
It's an
And those are
exclusive-
I think of those as like wintertime rosés, like
Yeah,
the fuller,
totally.
richer.
Are they? Do rosés have the same range in price as any other wine? You can get like a really, or do they
They're-
stay ceiling out at?
They're kind of sealing out sooner, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
you can definitely find some pricier ones.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah. I mean,
Close by to Provence, there's the best cru appellation in Provence is Bandol.
oh yeah, Bandol will be
So-
expensive.
So like Tempier Bandol Rosé will probably run you $45 to $60,
Okay.
which is kind of expensive for a bottle of rosé.
Yeah.
But
for
it's
something
higher.
you're.
But
gonna-
I've seen Chardonnays that are. I mean, the thing that really drives price up a lot of times for grapes, besides name or if it's just like a tiny region that's famous, is the use of oak, which like rosés and white wine don't see as much. But like the use oak is like the most expensive part of the process when they
Yeah.
use
Oh,
new. Yeah,
those
oak
barrels.
barrels are what, like $5,000.
Yeah, they're super expensive.
It's crazy. So yeah, a lot of the Cabernets and stuff in Napa, they're using all this new oak, and
You're
it's
paying
just-
for the oak.
You're
Yeah.
paying for oak.
You got to build in that oak price.
Yeah.
A lot for oak. So yeah, I'll stick with my
Yeah, when you're
rosé.
at that's the attitude you give to the bartender. It's like, okay, how much of this money's going to the oak? Yeah.
Yeah, or it's your like.
Lamest customer ever.
So you're
Give it
out
to
with
me
someone, you
straight.
don't want them to know you're skimping on the like wine budget, so you just wink at the somm and you're like, I'd like something that hasn't seen a lot of oak. Wink, wink, wink.
Oh, I get it, sir. You're cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can read between the lines. Cheap.
Cheap. I do like this.
Yeah, I think it's very good. They make one other, or well, actually, I think they make a few different. I think they make a white, and I think they make maybe make a different rosé, and they make a red. Miraval
Oh,
does.
really? I've not had.
The other pink one is the Whispering Angel, which I've never tried.
I would imagine now, for both of them to be hands-on would be very awkward. But are they hands-on? Were they ever?
I don't think so.
Just
think so,
investors?
yeah.
Well, Miraval, the chateau has existed for a long time. I was
Okay.
reading like the history of it. Built at the foot of Via Aurelia, a route built in 3 BC for Roman expansion.
3
Whoa.
BC.
3
It,
BC.
it wasn't built then, but it's
baby.
apparently that's
In
the,
just
the
3
site.
years.
This-
Jesus will be.
oh God!
Y'all feel something in the air?
Yeah.
A storm coming?
Something's happening. It's weird that it's only.
Yes.
It's weird that our years are going backwards.
And
I
why
wonder
is it -3? why is this year -3?
Can't
going
wait
on
till
here?
next year when it's 2.
Yeah, this doesn't make sense. Something's happening.
But at some point, it hosted monks in the French court. Like it's
Okay.
listed as some sort of historic site. And then in 1970, cut to 1970,
Our year one.
our year one.
That's when we started counting years.
Yeah. Pre-Carol King or post-Carol King?
Pre-CK. Yeah, a jazz pianist, actually, speaking of music.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jacques Lussier bought it, and it hosted Pink Floyd, Sade, the Cranberries, the Gypsy Kings,
Whoa.
and then it became the summer residence of Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. But yeah, it has like musicians were hanging out there, so it's got a little interesting history behind it, which I thought was cool. Like
Bohemian. and
Totally.
all that, yeah.
I had total doubts on this wine because I tend to doubt grocery store wines. But I mean, this is a higher price point of a grocery store wine, but it's
Right.
one that the first time I tried, I was like, oh, this is.
You wanted to hate it, in a way.
Yeah.
I wanted to hate it.
No.
I'm a Brad Pitt fan. He's from Missouri, and he's grown as an actor. Angelina, I'm a fan of her as a person, but she concerns me.
She concerns you? Why?
Yeah, I got some concerns.
Yeah, and you wanna
Yeah,
talk about
I
it?
mean, it's
Yeah.
maybe
I mean,
that.
what have you got going on
Yeah.
today? What are your
Yeah.
concerns with
God, oh no, get personal. I mean, I think she has an eating disorder, but I'm like worried about her. I'm like, she just seems unhealthy. She doesn't look well.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eh.
Yeah, it's hard to...
Angelina, we're thinking about you.
I was on the... This is such a humble brag, but I was on the lot of 20th, for an audition
Yeah.
for something tiny. That's the humble part of the humble
20th
brag.
Century Fox. Wait, which one is?
Inconsequential.
Is that the one in Culver
Yeah.
that you have to walk 5 million miles to?
Yeah,
like
it's
near Pico
yes.
or Century City. I mean.
Century City, yeah.
Yeah,
yes.
that lot.
And now it's harder because they
They make you park like literally a mile away.
you need a Sherpa to get
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I was just I had some time to kill, so I just hung out and walked around, went to the cafe, and boom, there was Angelina
Oh my
Jolie with a
God.
few kids, and I was in person stunned, just how
Is she radiant?
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
No, like it was like the buildings sort of parted for
Wow.
her because it was, and it was also extra interesting or potent because she wasn't walking like a presence. She was just walking as like a young mom, and
Yeah.
it didn't subtract anything from her presence. It's like her eyes were electric or
Wow.
something like that. It was just
You couldn't look away.
and I don't know how I reacted. Like I was just like, probably I stood there and stared for just a moment.
You're like, how's your day?
Yeah. How's your day going?
Yeah.
What do you got going on today?
yeah. What have you?
Oh, laundry day. Huh?
Laundry day, huh? Oh, you like potato salad? Me too.
Yeah, right. Hey, stuff. Snack. What was it? Snacks? Snacks.
Oh, yeah, snacks.
Hey, kids.
Oh, look at all those snacks. Hey, kids. Hey, you have kids with
Kids,
you.
right? Am I right?
And how many are you up to now?
Yeah.
People just become. I think they just lose all words when they see her.
Totally.
They're like, blah, blah, blah.
Probably.
Have you ever like sounded like a complete idiot in front of a celebrity or
Yeah.
embarrassed yourself or...
Yeah.
Yeah. I ran.
The end.
We won't. Yeah. No follow-ups there.
I have Brad Pitt's story.
Do you really?
Well, my first day of work on anything in LA when I first moved here is they needed people who danced to be extras for Benjamin Button.
Oh.
And yeah, it was the
Wow.
first job. It was literally like a month after I moved here. And I mean, I was technically a featured extra, but I got a SAG voucher, like,
Great.
my first day of work, and then I never got another one.
You're like, Hollywood's easy.
Yeah, right. No, but I got to work on this scene, with the leads with Kate Blanchett and Brad Pitt all day, and literally brushing by him. And at one point I didn't understand. I was still learning this whole like back to one thing, and they were splitting the scene up for one of the takes, which, by the way, Fincher takes every shot like 50 times. It's insane.
Yes, I've heard stories.
It's nuts. Yeah.
And I've heard he glues down all the props too. I'm serious.
Wow.
Because he doesn't want actors to mess with the props.
Oh, really?
Because everything is perfectly designed.
I didn't
Anyway,
have any props
David,
for this.
Mr. Fincher, sorry. Why are you holding a glue gun?
They
We've
did
got
it.
people for this.
They did insist on seeing
Don't
like
give an
pictures
actor
of you
touch a
dancing,
pencil.
even just if you're playing a dancer extra who's not even dancing. So he's meticulous. But yeah,
Yeah.
at some point I was confused where I was going, and my literally like elbowing by Brad Pitt, and they like had to stop, and I was like, "Mrah," and didn't know where I was supposed to walk to, and he goes, "I think you're okay." I'm like, yes. And he
it
kept
when they're
eating lip
cool
balm
about-
the whole time.
Oh, that's
It's
nice.
adorable. That's
You
my
guys were
Brad Pitt
sharing
story.
lip balm?
No, he kept needing lip
Oh,
balm.
needing lip
His
balm.
lips
I
were
was like-
very
I heard that
chapped.
too. I was like, great.
I'm like, I don't know if I would do that.
It was a big makeout scene with him and
Yeah.
Kate Blanchett. That's my code for sharing the lip balm.
Yeah.
No,
He's
that
like,
was
"You,
my
get over
memory
here.
of the
Your lips
day.
look dry. Dab, dab.
But I was impressed watching him work because I had never had a big opinion of him one way or another as an actor, but I was impressed watching him work the
Yeah.
whole day, how much heart he seemed to be putting into a really simple scene. So
Yeah, I think that's that. I always think about that with Tom Cruise, who like is there's no doubt his star power and his charisma, and he's made some bad movies. He's made some fantastic. I don't know,
Fantastic.
strong movies,
He's
really
made
good.
some bad life choices.
He's made some, and we only know him through that, really.
Yeah.
But I also know that he works so hard at his job. Like
Yeah.
he does commit. Like
Yeah.
it is important to him.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't phone anything in. And I remember hearing that he would run to set from his trailer.
Oh, wow.
Which was like, not that it was extra exercise, or he wanted to get there quickly because he's always a producer on every film he does anyway.
Yeah.
So he's got his eye on that. But I do know, and I always like hearing that he cares, like they
Yeah.
care.
Yeah, and one more thing I just remembered about him is he was the one who like was cracking silly jokes in between every take, and then like would go back being comedy people, it's like you
Yeah.
appreciate the person who wants to keep everybody
Yes.
elevated. So I was
Yeah.
I was highly impressed with him.
There's a
It's
super
nice to see that.
there's a long like super clip or whatever you call that on YouTube or somewhere when he did, what was the Tarantino movie with Nazi
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Bastard.
Inglorious
Inglorious
Bastards,
yeah.
where it's however who does the
person
take
doing
one-
the slate.
the
thing.
slates, yeah.
Sticks.
She would always do. I think she would always say a different name for the letter that she had to say, and there were so many scenes that she would do that in front of Brad Pitt, and it was fun to see him enjoy.
All her different.
Yeah. It's I don't know why that makes me feel happy.
I don't know. It's nice to know that people who could probably become assholes.
Yeah,
and
I think that's
mistreat
it.
people. Yeah, like
Yeah.
he would probably respond, or he would deal with someone asking him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you
going on?
what's
I
good you
mean,
got going
I-
on today? Yeah.
I would hope so. I love being on set. It never
I
gets old for me.
know.
Yeah.
Like no matter what I'm doing, I'm always like, this
Yeah.
is so exciting.
Yeah, we're making a movie.
Yeah, we're making a movie. There's something, and I hope that never really goes away.
Yeah.
Because there's so much bullshit in this business.
That's what
Yeah,
all
you have
the
to fight
annoying work.
through that.
fight,
Yeah.
And like that's your fun time is
Yeah.
to kind of like embrace that and get to play it. Like that's your time to play.
Yeah. That's
I mean,
right.
as an actor,
Yeah, that's right.
you can play in the editing room if you're an editor.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
Man,
don't
I
know.
don't fucking know.
I don't know
fucking
anything
know.
about that.
Yeah. Ask an editor. I don't know.
Hashtag ask an editor.
What's your fun time?
What's your fun?
Is it cutting out the ums or cutting out the ers? Or
No, I
just
saw-
adjusting levels?
I saw Meryl Streep, but she was in wardrobe for Lemony Snicket. So I didn't know who it was. So she said hi to me because I was staring. I was like looking at her, but she was on a golf cart, and I was like walking like towards her, and she's like hi, and then just kind of like winked and smiled at me, and she kept staring at me, and I was staring at her, and by the time I got close to her enough to say something, and then she pulled away. Once I realized it was Meryl Streep, I was literally just cotton mouth. I didn't know what to say. You're like, what do you say? And I was just like walking, you know, like on Paramount. It was just like. Holy shit.
Yeah, there are some...
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. You're Meryl Streep.
Yeah, you're Meryl Streep.
Thank you for existing.
Snacks!
Snacks.
Snacks.
Streeps!
Streeps.
Yeah, there are some celebrities that would strike me. I wasn't expecting that with Angelina Jolie, but there are some that meant so much to me that I would love to be cool around, but I probably wouldn't be.
Unexpectedly seeing Chris Rock did that to me. That was when I lived in St. Louis. Like,
oh, wow.
Yeah, they were like debuting his movie that Nelly had something to do with up the street. And
Up the street.
Nelly?
Nelly the rapper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was
You know
like,
what I thought
was
of
that
as
something
Nell.
yard?
I was like, what? I thought Nell.
No. Yeah, no,
Okay.
I didn't expect. I lived in a neighborhood near this indie movie theater that was in the
cool.
neighborhood that Nelly grew up in, and
cool. Okay.
I walk out my door and I hear all this like yelling and screaming, and I go down. There's this whole red carpet event going on, and then out of nowhere, Chris Rock like jumps out of a car and like jumped over the barrier and was like high-fiving all the crowd, and I just like flipped like I didn't. I was literally taking my trash out when I was like, what's all that noise? Let's go see what's happening. And I just started flipping out. I'm like, it's Chris Rock. It's Chris Rock. Oh my God. I've never reacted like that ever before in my life. Like, he probably just saw this like wacky girl in her like Sunday grubbies. Like, I dropped the trash by then, but it was like
reminds
embarrassing.
me of when one of my first real girlfriends. I was about to say professional girlfriends.
Whoa, wait, what?
What I meant was like official
moi?
was the word that I was thinking of. Professional.
Yeah, the first one you paid. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Official girlfriends.
She's worth it.
We went and saw, this was the 80s, so I don't have to apologize for anything. We went and saw Sting at this big theater, like concert venue in San Antonio, which is where I grew up. And Betty, she's a wonderful woman and a fun person, but we were sitting and we were watching Sting and waiting for him to arrive on the stage. The lights go out and the band comes out, starts playing, and then he walks out, and she just involuntarily screamed, like it was so. We were
Like you're on
not
a
like
roller
pumped
coaster
to see this concert,
Yeah,
and we liked him, and we thought this was going to be fun, and we like his music, but it was just this involuntary when he just sort of struts on the stage, and I just sort of went, oh, all right.
All right.
Did you join in? Did you feel equally moved or no?
Well, I think I just sort of internalized it because I, of course, like he does have presence.
Yeah.
He's very charismatic, and he walks on the stage, and I get excited. I did not join in on screaming, but I understood it. But it was just such a surprise, involuntary sort of like a reaction to seeing, and I don't think she expected it either. It was just like, wow, there he is.
Oh my God, it's Sting! Sting!
Snacks.
Quarters! Sting!
I feel like live music has a ability to do that to people or like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I went to a concert once with someone who I didn't really know that well, and she screamed the entire concert. And it was really actually inappropriate. And people behind
Right.
in front of us kept turning
Celine
around and
Dion.
looking at me, being
I was
like,
gonna say, it was, what is the most sad, like what would be
She's
the
like,
artist
my
the most
heart will
inappropriate
go on,
scream?
and she's going,
yeah.
I can't think of one right now. Anyway,
No, but she was.
Cigaros.
Cigaros, yeah.
Screaming the cigaros.
They can't figure out their timing because of the screaming. Like, this is slow. So she, like, did it make you feel uncomfortable?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, and from one point I turned, I'm like, you need to stop.
Did she have any
like, stop
self-consciousness
screaming.
about
No.
it? Wow.
Whoa.
And I was like, you need to stop screaming. I'm like, you're. I'm like, you're literally ruining this for me. Is what I said to her. She kept screaming.
This is a concert pianist.
Yeah.
They're playing.
It was Leonard Bernstein. Chichester Psalms, guys.
Yeah, this is Adagio for strings.
It was something like Cigaros, though. It was something
God.
very
Wow.
like melodic that was like, no, this is not the
Don't
vibe.
scream at that. You're ruining it for everybody.
Yeah, lady.
Lady, who I barely know.
I have a
last
friend
time we
who
hung
will
out.
sing along to every
like-
song, and she has an okay voice, but it's just sometimes you just want to listen to the song.
Yeah.
Like, we went to see Pitch Perfect together, and I was like, sing quietly.
Yeah, I actually did that once, accident to the New Pornographers, a band that I absolutely love. I was
Yeah.
at a concert, Pappy and Harriet's. That
Uh-huh.
play, yeah.
out in Joshua Tree.
Yeah. So it's a tiny place to see a big band. Like big bands will go, big meaning popular bands will
Yeah.
play this tiny little club venue that's outdoors and
In the middle of kind of nowhere.
yeah. And that's the first time I'd seen them, and I love this band, and I'm with a bunch of friends who love the band, and they started playing, and then all of my friends who were standing in front of me just turned around and were like, "Hey, could you take it down?" Because I was involuntarily. I didn't know. I thought they were loud enough that couldn't hear me, but I was quiet for the rest of the show.
That kind of breaks my heart, though, because I love that when you're seeing your
Yeah.
favorite band.
Yeah.
You sing along.
Oh yeah, it's just I have a bad sense of when I can it's like you're talking loud when your headphones are on,
Yeah.
which I might be doing right now. I realize.
What?
Yeah,
What's that?
but there's been moments where I've had earbuds on and I go, I need to speak quietly right now, and people will say, keep it down, because even though I've compensated because I have a
Maybe
poor
you
sense.
should try earbuds like in your ears when you're going through the checkouts, and then like just speak really loudly so they're like, oh, this guy's entranced and whatever, so they just won't ask anything because they just don't want to make you speak anymore because you're like inappropriately loud.
That is really funny to think of strategies to dodge this. Also, getting
Dodge it, yeah.
too specific.
Yeah.
Vasectomy. That's what I got going on today. I'm sure I'm not the only one in this Albertsons.
Man,
They're like, snacks. Yeah, it's my last meal.
It's my last meal. 2 months, they say,
Yeah.
well, I mean, it
if you
could.
believe doctors.
I have a friend who is trying to his people being inappropriate, like, and questioning things, which you know how hard it is to quit a gym.
Yes.
Yeah, so he was trying to quit his gym because he's going back to Texas because his dad has cancer. And they kept asking, he's like, no, I need to cancel it now. And they're like, why? And he's like, because I'm moving. Oh, why are you moving? Because my dad, like, they just kept asking. And then finally, but then they gave him like a huge discount that they would have been charging a fee. So, I mean, maybe it's good they knew, but it's like, yeah, don't feel sorry. It was just.
These moments happen in improv scenes where the choice is made like that,
Yeah.
and we think that, oh, that would never happen, but that
No.
people are pushed to say, my dad is dying from cancer.
Yeah.
Because it's the truth.
Yeah.
Because people will not take a hint. Their job is they were just told in the meeting that morning,
Yeah.
you've got to really ask these questions. You really have to
Make the
find
person
out.
question their decision.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
You got to engage the customer.
Yes.
This happened just in the last week, and then you told us your wine, and I'm like, oh my god, people being it happens.
And it's not their fault. Like they're just
Yeah.
following instructions. They're trying to make their day a little better, and I get it.
Yeah.
I wish I could find a better.
Maybe just start when people say, "What do you got going on?" You're like, "On my way to the funeral," and
But I also feel like some people who don't work and perform a lot
Yeah.
kind of maybe appreciate
Oh,
that
maybe.
check-in.
Yeah.
Maybe it makes someone stay.
maybe it's the first time someone. Yeah.
I think you're right. Yeah, that's the other. Maybe that's. I brought this up at the beginning. Keep in mind, I'm a grumpy person.
Yeah,
It doesn't mean that my worldview is the true one.
Right.
It's just that I feel triggered
Yeah.
triggered in the smallest way, but like violated, I guess is.
Well, for me, it's more like I have like very specific transactions I need to accomplish.
Yeah.
And I just want to accomplish them very quickly.
Yeah.
And it's not my time to sort of like make small talk or chat.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I do that a lot, either at the bar or at an audition or when you're working or something.
Podcasting. You're talking. Yeah.
You're constantly
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah.
And like sometimes I don't want to.
Yeah.
And I just want to, get my light bulbs. I want to go get my yogurt.
Yes, but sir, this is a coffee
You
shop.
wanna check your
We don't have light bulbs. Can't have any of these. What do you have going on
Unscrew
today?
the ones from the ceiling.
All right.
Trying
all
to
right.
get my chores done in one fell swoop.
Engage them. Give them what they want.
I
All
have
right.
15 minutes. Thank you. Engage them. Give them what they want.
Why are there no light bulbs anymore, sir?
We were doing what you told us. We're following instructions. I mean, sometimes I just want to check my email in an Uber, and they want to know where I'm going, and I'm like, I'm going to a bar. Don't judge me.
That's the other thing with Ubers and Lyfts. That's the whole other venue where this happens.
Oddly enough, like a lot of times when I am, case in point today, like I love when I'm, because I usually will Uber or Lyft to podcast recording because I'm a lightweight and we're drinking, and they're always like, "What are you doing?" And I like can't wait to tell them about it. I'm like, "I'm going to do a podcast.
Oh, yeah.
This is a bag full of wine."
But I think maybe the rules are we are audacious enough to establish rules that in the lift or in a ride thing like that it should be up to the customer to begin the engagement. And I'm fine if the driver tests it a little bit and just gets the sense of, all right, like even how are you doing today is enough of engagement for me as a customer to go, thank you for asking. I will give you a very general answer that is not specific, that does not invite any or follow-up questions, and that you should take the hint that I don't want to further this conversation. And if they miss that, then that's a bummer.
Yeah.
This is going to be a long...
Sometimes I'll do that. Oh, hold on. I just have to like tell the person that I'll be there soon. And I'm like, gotta do this text thing. And then it's like...
And I have to explain it in a huge text.
Taking forever.
I'm a terrible speller, so I'll have to look up things.
And I can't multitask. I could not talk and text
Do not
at the
ask
same
me.
time.
Yeah.
Do not ask.
Should we go into lightning round?
Oh, is it lightning round
It's
time?
lightning
Let's
round
do
time.
lightning round.
What is lightning round?
It's a series of questions delivered very quickly about wine or just life.
Our lightning rounds, though, are kind of like very liquid lightning.
Yeah, they
Liquid
get
round?
a little
They're like
slow.
lightning in spirit, in soul. But
You start
really,
out with a lightning.
answer as slowly as you want.
Oh, okay, all right.
Take your
Yeah.
time.
We'll get into things.
But it's just some questions.
But I'm the one that's answering.
You're the one answering.
You
Okay,
are.
cool.
Yeah.
We'll help you any
Okay.
possible way we can.
What do you want to start?
I'll start.
Okay.
So now I was talking about appellations in Provence, and there's like 4.
What is an appellation?
It's like a town.
Okay.
It's a way they're allowed to label, I would say, kind of.
okay.
How they're what they're allowed to call their wine on the label.
Yeah, but it's also geographically specific.
Right.
Got it.
So it's an area.
Yeah.
Which one produces the most wine in Provence?
I don't know this.
I don't know the 4 appellations.
The answer is also in the question.
Oh, ask it again, please.
What is the name of the largest appellation in Provence? Blah, blah.
Provence.
But there's,
Boom, boom, boom.
Appellation.
this is also, they also call this in the Southern Rhone. It's above the Rhone.
Cote?
Yes.
Yeah, good one.
And then
Côte de Provence.
this
de
is
Provence,
something
Côte de
that
Provence.
forms when it's really cold in the morning. And like little droplets.
Dew?
Yep. So it's
Cote du Provence.
yes.
It's also like on the bottle.
Yes!
I think this is a Côte de Provence.
It's also on the bottle.
You could have just been like,
Listeners, she has the bottle 2 inches from my face right now.
Just
what is
And
it?
she's been pointing at it. I'm like, I don't think I need that.
like, no, give me the dew.
Give me the dew.
Give me the dew.
Côte de
What are
Provence.
the other appellations? There's the Aï de Provence. There's just Provence AOP.
Bandol, Côte de Provence, Cassis.
Oh,
and then,
Cassis. I forgot about that one.
the one I'm forgetting
There's
right now.
Aï de Provence. How
Is
do you
Cassis
pronounce it?
an
A-I.
A drink as well?
It
Cassis, right?
is. Yeah, it's
It is, yeah.
Is it
it's a
that?
liqueur.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a blackberry
anise?
flavored.
Oh,
We're
okay.
getting right into my next question
Great.
if you want.
Yeah.
Go
We
for
just
it.
go right into
Let's
it.
strike.
Let's go.
Let's lightning strike.
Let's go.
True or false? Cassis, the wine region, is where they make Cassis the liqueur.
Oh, I'm gonna say false.
Correct.
Yeah.
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 Nothing to do with it.
Interesting.
Wait, is that where it's down there? No, Banyuls is down there where they make fortified wine. I'm like, where do they make the fortified wine?
Yeah.
No, Banyuls is more not Provence though. I'm just trying to think of southern France.
Sutter.
Southern. No. Okay, I'm talking. So what do they make in Cassis
Just
exactly?
rosé and red.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. It's just very confusing. So the liqueur.
I know, right? Because it's spelled exactly the same. You would
Is
think.
Provence hugging the southern
Yeah, it's on the shore.
Mediterranean?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
South, east.
And then right nearby is the Languedoc and the Roussillon.
When somebody says south of France, is it mostly the Provence area?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Maybe southwest France.
Yeah,
but
I mean, like.
that's- Usually
Italy.
they're talking about Provence.
Yeah.
That's more like getting into Spain. That's on
Yeah.
the border with Spain. There.
Gotcha.
Well, those are all my questions.
He's out.
Just 2 flashes.
Thank
of
you very
lightning.
much, guys. Have a good rest of your
Yeah,
podcast.
there was a puff of smoke, and then he left.
So a common tasting note for Provence is garrigue. Do you know what garrigue is?
Ooh, she's saying it all
Calming
fancy, too.
tasting note is garrigue.
Yeah, this taste of the garrigue of the region. We make these questions hard.
Yeah, they're meant to be.
Like, I wouldn't know this until recently.
I don't know. Garrigue. Is it in that word
Can
somewhere?
you spell it for him? Maybe that'll help.
Garrigue. Garrigue.
Garrigue. Intrigue of the garrigue.
This is a tricky question. It's pretty much just like the essence of the land, which is like scrubby plants and herbs. Like if someone says it has garrigue, it means there's like a bit of it's you can taste the
Of the
thin
earth?
rocky soil. You can taste the scrubby plants. They
Scrubby plant.
grow a lot of herbs around there too, like rosemary and stuff.
Herb de Provence is
Oui,
a
oui.
thing. Yeah.
Ooh.
So garrigue would perhaps have notes of herb de Provence.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't taste much garrigue on this wine.
I do not either.
No,
I do not either.
I don't know.
Said the robot.
I am a wine robot.
Hey, could you pass me some of that lip balm there?
Yep.
Shaughn was applying some. Perfect.
You guys, I learned this from Brad Pitt. Whenever you're on set, just bring your lip balm and then offer it to
Share
everyone
it.
around you.
Share it with the extras.
Make all the friends.
Yeah.
It's not creepy.
Then you own a piece of them in a way.
It just really layers your character as you layer their lip juice on your.
Ew.
Lip juice. That's what this has a lot of, though.
Yeah.
is
There's
lip
so
juice.
much lip juice
Oh.
in this
Some lip
wine.
juice.
I can't even.
A taste of lip juice.
Garrigue.
Is that what it is? Garrigue?
Did I pronounce it wrong? I always said garrigue.
Garrigue, yeah.
Garrigue.
That sounds like the name of your assistant. Garrigue.
Garrigue. Bring me my lip gloss. Bring me
Drink
my
more lip gloss, Garrigue.
Garrigue.
It's Garrigue.
Garrigue.
For 20 years, you've been saying my name wrong.
God damn it.
I quit. You can't quit. I own you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right. You've been
And
sharing
the
this.
rest
I own your soul.
Or well.
Do you want to go ask for 4?
Chips
Do you want
in
to
our
ask a
necks.
4-y?
Oh yeah. So there's a wind, a well-known French wind that influences this region. It's a cold northerly wind. Do you know what the name of that wind? It tends to also sort of be. It's either a blessing or a threat because it can be very cold and kill plants, but it can also keep them fresh and free of
read
the
this.
molds and the
Wine Bible.
yes. This is where we get a lot of our facts. Is the Wine Bible. Guys, just stop listening to this. Go get the Wine Bible. Read it.
And read. Pick up a book.
I get a lot from the Oxford Companion to Wine as well.
Stop looking at the radio.
Stop reading the radio. Read a book.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Something du Nord.
It comes from but that's a
No,
good guess. I
that's a good
appreciate
guess,
that,
yeah.
and I appreciate I see your cooking background when you brought up the herb de France.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Mistral, it's called. It also affects Burgundy and the Rhone Valley because it all just kind of blows down through there.
I love learning about that shit. That's so cool.
Yeah,
Just how the environment, the reliable environment, quote unquote,
yeah,
influences. Like if wind is awesome.
yeah. The Mistral is extremely important. If you're gonna know one French wind,
Listen, listeners, there's a lot of French winds out there.
Choice in
one.
French winds.
Yeah, yeah.
now I'm blanking on the name of the other major wind that blows like east. West.
Santa Ana.
Yeah, the Santa Anas are
Santa
all the
Ana
way
winds?
in France. I mean, they have the Cape Doctor in South Africa is very important. The Cape Doctor.
Cape
I just
Doctor.
love the
They just
name
call
of
it
that.
the doctor, huh?
Yeah.
The
Here
Cape
comes
Doctor.
the doctor.
Here comes
Cape
the
Doctor.
doctor.
The
Keeping
Cape Doctor
things
is
fresh.
in. Yeah.
Ooh, KTLA. It's crazy though that like just the right amount of wind will save your grapes. Too much will blow
Or
them
kill
off.
them.
Or kill them.
Or if you have to figure the right way to teepee your
So,
vines.
what is it doing besides providing oxygen for the plants? Is it
Circulating the air and the moisture.
yeah,
so they
so
don't rot.
mildew doesn't
Stay?
Yeah.
okay?
So if you think of like a bunch of grapes, like they're prone to rot because they're all bunched
Can
up.
also
right.
cool down overly hot days.
Ah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keeps temperature regulated.
But if
too.
they don't like train the vines properly, it can knock them over. So, in Santorini in Greece, they train the vines in this crazy like basket shape that the grapes can grow inside because the winds are so strong there. Otherwise, they'll like really kill them.
the vine tema. Back.
Can that be my next nickname?
Yeah. The Vine Tamer.
The Vine Tamer?
Anything that involves a whip.
Are you saying wine tamer with a German accent?
The Vine Tamer. That's what I say. Was that weird?
Why is that
Why
weird?
is that weird?
Willkommen.
That's a German tradition of vine taming.
Welcome to the wine situation.
Do you guys have German wines at Covell, or do you ever drink? You both?
I love a German.
Love a German one.
Yeah.
A good Riesling from Germany.
Riesling, Sylvaner, a Gemmetersatz.
My
what
first
else?
wine as a kid at the fancy restaurant in San Antonio, I think it was called PJ's. It was a Gewürztraminer, and I remember I loved it as a kid. I'm probably 13 or 14, and I had a. They
That
just let
seems
me
like
have
a wine that you would at a young age.
just
yeah.
embrace immediately
Yeah.
and think I like wine. And I remember
A great first wine.
it
too.
was my
Yeah.
close friend of the
I'm like,
family's.
so impressed. I'm like, what?
like mine was
Never heard of
Strawberry Hill.
Gewürztraminer. I was like, Midori sour. I'll take it.
It was Welch's with
age.
gin. But I remember him say, it was my close family friend, and we referred to him as Uncle Gary, but he loved that I liked the wine, and he gave me the first description or opinion about it. He said, it's crisp, but not too pretentious. And I never forgot that.
Yes.
That's, just describe most wines you drink that way, and people
Yeah.
will be like, oh,
Yes.
that
not
must
too
be
it's
great.
crisp, but not too pretentious, guys.
I love it.
Thank God.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Uncle.
I hate too
Not
much
enough
pretension.
pretension today.
Yeah.
This
How much lip
wine-
juice does it have, by the way?
Reeks.
I'm getting.
I
hints of
smell the
snacks.
sweat of 1,000 extras. That was what I meant by saline.
I'll eat that up a flip flop. And we just have one more question.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's bringing you some joy, some lightness? Namaste.
It
It
well,
could
I'll
be
get
this lovely house as I look around.
This is a great house.
Oh, thank you.
And you have do you play piano? I just
I am
guitars
a
on the wall,
musician,
guys.
but
very cool.
I'm not a professional musician, but I do play.
You dabble.
I dabble. I tamper. So this isn't really. I was gonna this podcast that we mentioned earlier about the albums. That is bringing me. I'm not a big self-starter. I don't start projects. I'm more like I join projects that somebody else is.
you do have a few co-hosts on Mouth Feelings.
Yes, but the album one is my project, and it's been such a joy to interview people about this thing that means so much to me as well. But the first episode is this Liz Phair's Exile in Guyville. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
And I loved that album when it came out, and I dropped it, never listened to it again, and then re-listening to it has given me so much joy and appreciation for what she did with that one album.
She did so early.
So early.
I know.
How courageous that was. Maybe it wasn't courageous for her. It didn't feel courageous, but because it feels so easy for her.
91, 92,
93.
30.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wish I would have paid more attention to what she was saying in that, lyrically, and it's really strong. So
Well, I
that's
gotta
been giving me joy.
Go back and listen to this.
Yeah. Glad to spread that.
Well, on that note,
awesome.
give it cheers.
Cheers.
Give it up.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for hosting us.
Yeah.
Happy to.
Thank you for drinking with us.
Glad it worked out. It's not because I made them come to me. It's because schedule-wise, it made
Scheduling.
more
Yeah.
sense for it to happen here.
It has
Never
been
leaves his
wonderful.
house, guys.
Yeah, little known. Joel
Little
is
known.
actually you teach via Skype. You teach your improv.
Yes.
I took 401
Anyway.
from you. You did Skype it.
Yes, I did Skype it. Anyway, back to my curtain in the middle of my room.
Bye, Joel.
Full circle.
See yourself out.
That was fun, Ellen. I don't know where Joel went.
Thanks for listening. Yay. Musical talk with Joel.
Joel. Thanks, Joel. Thanks for letting us use your home studio.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. Thank you, UCB, though, in general.
Yeah, and just, for giving us everything.
Yeah.
Giving me everything in my life I have now. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. America Comedy, for your lovely song.
Thomas Strachey for the graphic.
Yeah,
Wine
thank you.
people at large.
Yeah, Matt, Dustin, Gregory, everything.
Everything.
Hey, guys, make sure you like it and share it and talk about it.
Yeah, and
On
follow us on the Instas and the
Instagram,
Twits.
The Wine Situation.
Yeah, can you tell Shaughn and I are stoned?
Yeah, we just did a podcast where we were stoned.
Yeah.
So we're doing.
We don't just get drunk.
We don't-
also get high.
Yeah,
There's more to us.
sometimes for work, for
For
work.
work. Always for work.
Purely legal work that we're engaged in right now. Up next week we have.
Zora Beacon Gaga.
I left that one for Ellen to say because I was like, I don't think I can get it out.
Zora Beacon Gaga.
I knew Zora, but Beacon Gaga. Very fun. All right, guys, thanks.
I
Bye.
I just drink wine. I don't fuck with IPAs. I just drink wine. I don't fuck with Minute Maids. I just drink wine. I don't fuck with coffee mates. I just drink wine. Give me red, white, or rosé. Don't touch me, motherfucker. I'm a sommelier.
This has been a Boardwalk Audio podcast. For more information and shows, visit boardwalkaudio.com. Don't forget to rate and subscribe now.